I hope you're full of energy for a brand new episode in our Blender Learning series. Today we're continuing with materials and we'll dive into some new details that will help you have more control over your textures. First, let's get familiar with some key shortcuts that will make working with nodes in Blender much easier. Of course, the most common shortcut for adding a new node is Shift+A. If you want to inspect a specific node, you can use the shortcut Shift+Control, then left-click on the node. If you want to add both texture coordinate and mapping nodes at once, you can use the shortcut Ctrl+T. It's time to get familiar with a new node, the mapping. Mapping node allows you to control how the texture is applied to objects by adjusting their coordinates, whether it's through scaling, rotating, or translating. You want to delete a node without removing the connected links. No problem, you can use the shortcut Ctrl+X. If you want to delete a node along with all its connected links, you can use the shortcut X. Sometimes the node setup can get insanely messy, so it's best to organize it like branches of a tree. To do this, you can use the shortcut Shift+right-click to create a reroute node, making the connections cleaner and easier to follow. You can also left-click on the reroute node and drag it anywhere to quickly connect it to any new node you want. Want to slice through a connection like a knife? No problem. Just use Ctrl+right-click and drag across the link to cut it instantly. I've gathered some key values related to colors. If the value is on the white side, it means the whiter the connected texture, the stronger the effect, and vice versa. For example, if we connect the white texture to the metallic value, the object will appear fully metallic. On the other hand, if it's black, it won't be metallic at all. Of course, this means that gray is a blend between the value and its opposite, giving us more flexibility. We can use it to create effects like matte metal or divide the object so that one part is fully metallic while the other remains non-metallic, simply by painting one side white and the other black. Since we've talked about coloring, it's time to unleash the giant from its cage, image texture. This node allows you to use images as materials on your objects, unlocking a world of realistic details and stunning effects. I want to add a mask to the yo-yo to separate the materials, so I'll use image texture as a mask. All we need to do is create a new image by clicking New, name it Mask, and it's done. Now we have a ready-to-paint mask for manual editing. Now we switch to texture paint to draw the different areas in white so we can separate the materials. But unfortunately, when trying to paint, we get the error, missing UVS detected. Blender needs UV coordinates to know how to wrap the image around the object. Right now, our model doesn't have a UV map, so Blender doesn't know where to apply the paint. To fix this, we need to unwrap the UVS before painting. I could unwrap the UVs directly, but that would limit our painting flexibility, so it's better to mark the areas we want to paint, making the process easier. Simply select the inner and outer edges you want to separate, press U and choose Mark Seam to define the cut lines for the UV. Once all the seams are marked, go back to the same menu and select Unwrap. Problem solved. Now we're ready to paint with full control. Let me give you an extra tip. If your object requires focusing on a specific area, simply select that area, then use Ctrl+I to invert and select the unwanted points. Next, use H to hide the unnecessary parts, and now you can focus on the desired area with precision. Congratulations, you'll be able to paint with expert level control. Sometimes it might seem like the painting covered all areas, but in reality, it didn't, so we need to verify the image directly. The part I wanted to focus on is done, but I won't feel satisfied until the yo-yo is finished. Relax and take a moment to look ahead at what's coming next. Now, let's create a small studio and focus on the lighting. Lighting is one of the most enjoyable aspects of working with models, but it also requires a lot of focus to make sure the result is just how you envision it. time for the final touch. We're in the compositing stage, and this is a crucial step to add the finishing effects that will make the model pop. In compositing, we'll tweak those little details, adding lighting effects, color corrections, or shadow enhancements that will make it look its absolute best. Wrap for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new, but this is just the beginning. The next episode will be about adding materials to the sword, taking us to the next level of creativity. If you want to stay updated, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss anything.